To Limpopo now, where the PEC has recommended 4 new mayors following disputes on the selection of candidates in the province. The PEC has also demanded a rerun of the nomination process for mayors at Vhembe and Makhado municipalities. The decision means Maruleng, Lephalale and Ephraim Mogale, current mayors, will be axed in favour of the new names. Newzroom Afrika's Phakgadi is outside the ANC Limpopo offices, and he joins us now to just give us a sense that after all those protests, Pelane, ahead of the local government elections, there are members of the ANC who have made headway in their disputes. Tell us more.
Definitely. I mean, some of the disputes even headed to court, and they were all, of course, very much disgruntled as far as the mayorship is concerned. They said the nomination processes at the time were flawed. So the 6 municipalities in particular that you've named, Ephraim Mogale, Sekhukhune, Maruleng, Lephalale, Makhado, and as well as Vhembe, they were all in dispute, and they had to have an NEC and the PEC have their own discussions as far as how they're going to be dealing with the disputes and come on with the recommendations. And the recommendations are that they have instructed the regions and as well as the locals of Vhembe, I mean, that is Sekhukhune, Ephraim Mogale, and as well as Maruleng and Lephalale, that they install new mayors, and they also instructed Vhembe and Makhado to rerun the nomination process as far as mayorship is concerned. But just to analyze all of that, joining me now is Elvis Masora, political analyst. Elvis, this is an issue where in the Sekhukhune area, I could imagine one have lost power. That is the current mayor there, Steno Ramaila. He lost the conference. He's not even part of the REC. It was only a matter of time that he was recalled. But all in this, does it signify that people should perhaps be happy with the ANC, that they've rectified some of the disputes that people have had with in the first place?
Yeah, thanks very much. I think to a large extent, the ANC, through creating the national, electoral, committee headed by the former ANC Deputy President Kgalema Motlanthe, I think the ANC was trying to create an impression that they are a listening organization to their members and supporters. Whatever dispute, whether it has got married or not, they will listen to as the national leadership. But at the end of the day, like any political party, the leadership must make a firm decision, because you can't argue and discuss forever. There comes a moment when a decision has to be taken. The same applies to what's happening in the Sekhukhune district municipality and even in Vhembe, because the dynamics are the same. There were incumbents who were serving as current caretaker mayors. Suddenly now there are new regional chairpersons. Ramaila has been defeated in Sekhukhune. The same in Vhembe. Chitegere has been reinstated as the regional chairperson. Obviously, the current dynamics will suggest that there will be a new mayor. Matebe has been instructed to come and serve as a new mayor in the Sekhukhune district municipality. The same applies to Vhembe. It is quite clear that even Chitegere might also be announced as the new mayor of that particular municipality. But what is quite clear is that yes, members and supporters can express their dissatisfactions, but at the end of the day, for a political party, the leaders must take a decision, because you can't accommodate millions of suggestions. Imagine you have got 1 million members, all of them are posting their different suggestions. How can you accommodate them? It's better to listen to them, try to juxtapose everything that they have expressed, but at the end of the day, leadership must never be afraid to make a bold decision, and that's exactly what the ANC did. They finally announced what must happen in the affected, municipalities in Limpopo.
Should we expect the ones that have now been chucked out, so to speak, that they perhaps go through and show their discomfort or their disgrace as far as the decision is concerned? Do you see them perhaps even approaching courts in some areas?
Yeah, but you'll agree with me, Pelane, that it is normal for human beings, particularly members and supporters of a political party, to have an ambition. Even politicians, they can have an ambition to become an executive mayor or an MEC or a premier. But at the end of the day, there is one position for executive mayor. Members and supporters might canvass, try to lobby different people, but at the end of the day, they must have one executive mayor. It was quite clear that one person will become the mayor of Sekhukhune district municipality. But remember one thing, the ANC doesn't want to create unnecessary two centers of power, whereby you have got an executive mayor in that district municipality, and also you have got a different person who serves as the regional chairperson of that district. So usually they create two centers of power, whereby the regional chairperson of the party will want to dictate terms into the municipality. So the ANC have been trying to avoid that. The same applies to the position of president, the position of premier. They always make sure that whoever becomes the new president of the ANC must also become the president of the country. The same applies to premier. If you win the provincial chairpersonship of the ANC in that province, they will prefer that you become the premier to avoid two centers of power whereby you spend 5 years fighting each other rather than concentrating on service delivery.
I tell you what, we have those kind of those municipalities and provinces such as the Free State in itself. But just give us now, as we round up, what does this now mean for the provincial conference that is coming? We are now told that it will be held somewhere in early June.
Yes, it will be a very interesting spectacle for not only people in Limpopo, but for the country to watch what will unfold in the coming Limpopo elective conference of the ANC, because you heard there are reports that the current premier and provincial chairperson of the ANC Limpopo, Chupuma Tabata, has been touted or nominated to stand for as the chairperson of the ANC for the third term. So, something that was not expected that much, but the question might be who will want to contest Chupuma Tabata in light of the legacy that he has created. So, it's very interesting dynamics, and the two rival factions in Limpopo have decided to coalesce and unite around President Cyril Ramaphosa. So a very interesting political dynamics are unfolding in Limpopo, and it is much likely that given, Chupuma Tabata's legacy, he might also be re-elected unopposed, because there is no any single person in light of Matabata's legacy who might say, I'm available, I want to contest him. But it was unexpected, but definitely he might be re-elected unopposed.
Definitely, that's Elvis Masoga there. I will tell you what, we will have a conversation about the fact that he himself now also might be touted to go to the national position, that is top 6 of the African National Congress. That's another conversation where the ANC chairperson, when he does win that particular conference in June, the chairperson here in the province, he might just be touted again to canvass for the ANC top position of chairpersonship in the coming conference of the African National Congress. That will leave another position to be vacant here in the province, meaning that the PGC will have to hold itself again. There have to be another PGC where they will be electing a new leadership, and people such as Florence Radzilan, who's the deputy chairperson, as well, who's going to be remaining, perhaps if anything is to go by the slate that we've seen, will remain as the deputy chairperson and might just be acting as the chairperson of the African National Congress here in Limpopo. Interesting dynamics indeed.
Pelane, thank you very much for that report coming to us from Limpopo.